All right, so this morning, right around 6:30, our officers were dispatched to the area of Blue Hills Avenue at Holcomb Street on a report of a motor vehicle versus pedestrian crash. Upon arrival, officers did locate two victims of this crash, two pedestrians that were pronounced unfortunately on scene. This investigation is being conducted by our crime scene division. The vehicle in question, we believe, was traveling at a high rate of speed north on Blue Hills Avenue when it struck the two individuals crossing the street. That vehicle came to rest near the intersection of Westminster Street. Driver remained on scene. He was brought to the hospital for evaluation, and the investigation is currently underway. We probably will be looking at charges at some point today. I don't have them yet. Depends on where this investigation leads.
Did the person who struck the people stay on scene?
He did, yes.
And it was just one car?
One vehicle, yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah. One vehicle. So, again, speed looks like a factor in this case. So, again, I suspect there will be charges later on today.
Were the pedestrians in a crosswalk at all?
That I don't have. Okay, I'm sorry. I can say that we believe the pedestrians are in their 30s, so definitely not school kids. I know that was a concern earlier. The driver of the vehicle also, we believe, is a 30-year-old male.
Can you also pronounce the name of the two victims who passed? Is there a name pronunciation?
For here?
Yeah.
They haven't been released yet. We haven't even identified them conclusively yet.
Is there a history of speeding and accidents in the stretch of...
I would have to look back on that. I don't have that with me right now.
Now, the person, you said that charges might be brought later today. If they stayed on scene, would it be in relation to the speeding then?
Most likely. Most likely. Again, it's being investigated by the crime scene division, so where that investigation takes them, I won't know until they inform me. So I suspect there'll be motor vehicle charges at the minimum.
No sobriety test was delivered to that driver?
I don't want to speak to that at this point. Obviously, that's something that we look at.
Can't speak to if they were texting or driving or anything like that either.
Right. It's an open investigation. They're still on scene, processing the scene, so it'll be a while before we get to any of that.
Looks like a lot of debris around those bodies. Did the car hit anything else?
It came to a rest at a telephone pole.
But I mean, before that, like,
It doesn't appear so. Doesn't appear so.
When you say came to a rest at a telephone pole,
It hit the pole.
I don't know how to ask this delicately, but people who have been by that scene have said it is pretty gruesome. These
It is.
bodies are not intact, perhaps.
Correct. It's a horrific scene. Yeah.
So for that to be the case, you really must believe this car was speeding at a really high rate.
It would appear so. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in such a public, popular space too, the neighbors have had to look at everything going on. I mean, I know police see this kind of thing all the time, but they don't.
Right. Correct. It's a very unfortunate. It's like I said, it was a horrific scene. Nobody wants to see that or be exposed to that. Unfortunately, it happened this morning.
We talked to some neighbors in the community who say, some say that they typically don't have an issue in this area, but all of them did say that people do speed down this road often. So I guess what is your message to the community right now?
Well, especially since we go into the holidays, I mean, slow it down. We always encourage people not to text and drive, be aware of their surroundings. We have a full-time traffic division here that will go into neighborhoods that have complaints of speeding or stop sign violations. They'll address those concerns. Again, it's concerning. It was a horrible accident.
Aaron, if you could just speak to the busyness that you guys have had this morning. What's it like having to, go from a double homicide to a horrible crash like this?
It's busy, but the officers are prepared for it. It's what they do. They're on point. Nobody's complaining. Everybody's doing their job. So they did have to hold over officers from last night. No complaints. Everybody did their job and to continue to do their job. So we're prepared for that.
Was there just one person in the car?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And has he been cooperative with police?
Yeah, he stayed on scene, so he's been speaking to our detectives.
Was he hurt at all?
He went for evaluation, so if anything, it would have been minor.
Are there any cameras in the area that maybe caught the whole thing? Or?
We did locate witnesses that we spoke to that painted a pretty clear picture. Just like when major crimes comes out, crime scene will do the same exact thing when it comes to video canvases. So I know that there's historically been a lot of cameras in this location.
And speaking of everything that's had to transpire today and everything you've had to do, going back to that, this is what I was really asking before I made that mistake. If you could pronounce the name of the two victims in the homicide that you guys had to
Sure, if I'm saying it right, it's Disa Escobar would be the last name. Yeah, if I'm saying it correctly.
And one of the homicide victims, it was their birthday yesterday. Was
Correct.
there a party that might have been the...
Not that we're aware of, no. No.
Any other more leads? I know it's been like only a couple hours, but any more leads in that case in terms of a suspect or?
Not yet. So our detectives are still here. They'll be here all day working on that homicide. Sometimes homicides go from no leads to an arrest in the same day. I've seen it happen. So it's very hard to tell when these leads are going to be established. We have a tip line, 860-722-TIPS. That's always helpful if anybody has any questions or any information that would help us. Please give us a call. We can take those anonymously.
I know you've been talking to the family. Really horrible situation there with two brothers. A family lost two sons. I don't know if you can speak to how they're doing. Or...
I mean, I was there when they found out, and it was very emotional. They were very upset. Clearly, obviously, we were upset. It was it was what you would imagine it to be.
I apologize if I missed it earlier. Can you give the genders of the victims here?
Both males.
The driver was found.
Yes.
And I know they're not being revealed or anything at this time. Do we know if there's any relation that they have?
We don't. Again, one of them I believe has since been identified. The other one we're in the process of identifying. Once that's done, they're going to have to make next of kin notification, so we won't be able to release names until that's done as well.
And do you know, I know this is in relation to some schools in the area. Do you know if there's been any impact on schools? This is a very busy...
No, there haven't been. There was concern that they may have been students. I know that was floating around for a while, but they're not. They weren't. All right, guys?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.